Common hazards when in an aerial lift are electrocutions, falls, collapses, tip-overs, caught under, between, and struck by or against. Keep in mind that electrocutions and falls are the leading causes of fatalities when working aloft. Some preventative measures are to always wear your fall protection and clip in. Always maintain minimum approach distance. We'll go over that later on. Personnel on the ground shall spot, pay attention to lines and the movements of workers while they work aloft, and communicate. Always be an active observer. Our power guys mainly work in this highlighted section of 1.1 kV to 15.0 kV. This is an outdated chart. Their minimum approach distance is now 2 feet 3 inches for that amount of kilovolts. Our journeyman linemen like to mainly stick to the 2 feet 4 inch range. To prevent fall hazards while working aloft, never climb over or hang out of the bucket. Never climb from the lift to a pole or vice versa. Do not use ladders or any other material to extend height, and always wear your harness and lanyard while on the buckets, no exceptions. For struck by and caught between, hazards exist for both workers aloft and on the ground. Some preventative measures are use of SLAM, stop, look, assess, and manage. Make sure to keep clear of the pinch points, stay clear of the belly while the truck is both aloft and coming down. And communication and proper spotting. 1 out of the 2 men on the ground shall be actively spotting the aloft workers at all times. For falling and dropped objects, when discussing your tailboard, ensure to communicate the area that will be the drop zone. If there are additional cones, use those to block off the area. Before dropping objects from above, call out hole, wait for a clear response, and then proceed to drop the object. The men on the ground shall always be aware of their surroundings and communicate when approaching the hole, and the 4th man shall always be actively spotting the aloft work. Equipment access and egress steps shall never be used as a work platform. Make sure these steps and these points are visualized as you leave the bucket from a stowed position. Always use 3 points of contact when getting off the truck, out of the bucket when in stowed position. Never overextend. That's how most fall incidents occur. Aerial lift inspection and pre-flight. Make sure you are always giving your lift a visual inspection before each use. Look for oil leaks, broken or missing parts, damaged boom or bucket. Never use a damaged bucket. If any of this is noticed, return the truck to the yard and notify the mechanic. As part of the inspection process, crew shall always pre-flight their bucket. This will lessen the likelihood your crew will get stuck. Many of the defects will be noticed in this process. No occupant equals no hazard of falls. Always be aware of overhead clearances in this process. Again, if any damage is noticed, return the truck to the yard and notify the mechanic. For unit setup, always follow the manufacturer's manual and placards regarding setup. For outrigger use, truck slope, and setting up on uneven terrain. Make sure to keep in mind that the use of insulating materials is mandatory at Lecom. Anywhere there is a risk for contact with an employee or equipment, the insulating material shall be used.